Hey guys, Karasid here with another review. This time it'll be part 4, the last part of my Power Rangers figure reviews mini-series. And this time I'll be looking at figures that come with vehicles. And to start off, I apologize for the delay between my last video and this, but a bunch of things came up that left me without the time to film this video, but now I have the time today, so that's why I'm getting to this. So we have 4 vehicles and figures up for review today, and these sets, just to tell you, are named after the vehicle rather than the Ranger. So what we have are the Black Raptor Cycle and White Thunder ATV from Power Rangers Down Thunder, the Mystic Tracker from Power Rangers Mystic Force, and the Red Hovertech Cycle from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. So of course we start from left to right with the Black Raptor Cycle, and include the Black Ranger figure. We'll look at the figure first, since that's the most simple thing. So we've got the Black Down Thunder Ranger in what's basically the vehicle style for the series. Has the same basic head sculpt with all the necessary detail and paint. Have the chest, which has some gold along the sides of the neck, or at least the space between the shoulders and the neck. Has some new shoulder pads, which have kind of a silver spike to them with some gold on the front and back. Going down the arms, we have these new gauntlets on the forearms, which has a diamond pattern, as well as a gold art trim. The legs take some cues from Super Dynamos with excuse me, with these extended gold spikes and the spikes extending from the back of the lower legs, but also have these new shin guards here with also a diamond shade pattern. The figure is once again the kind that has unrealistic muscles, especially in the abs, but that it has been typical for years. Articulation wise, the head rotates 360 degrees, arms can rotate 360 degrees, have a single jointed elbow, have a bicep swivel, though it's I guess more of a forearm swivel, because the forearm is the part that does swivel, as well as a wrist swivel. Legs go forward and back, and a little bit out, so it can be rotated like that. Has a single jointed knee, and a rotation just above the knee. And that's it for now. And you have the cycle. This design did appear in the show, but it was only used by the red, blue, and yellow Rangers. The Black Ranger didn't have it, but I'm pretty sure I bought this before the show aired, or before the Raptor Cycles appeared. And whatever the case, I bought this because I liked the way it looked the best out of the ones that were released at the time. So this is the basic design. It has the front part, which is basically an enlarged version of the Raptor Rider kind of head, with a bit of a gold diamond pattern, gold jagged teeth, gold eyes, a little bit of chrome on these two kind of knobs on the side. The Down Thunder symbol on top has the handlebars, the seat, these kind of back wheel guards, which also have this, which has this kind of diamond pattern that's also on this part that's like a tail. There's this part here, which I don't exactly know what it's called, has a kickstand and the switch, which I'll get to later. And of course the wheels, which are black plastic with some wheel tread designs on them and some painted gold spokes. Now, of course, the figure can be put onto the cycle, which is as simple as posing him the right way. and then just fitting him on. Just go like that. It does have a couple of footrests on each side, and the hands just go right over the handlebars, like that, and like this. And just straighten him out. You got him on the cycle. Just putting up the kickstand. It does roll quite well. And I guess you've kind of been gotten a little taste of what it's kind of one of its gimmicks is. The first gimmick is a simple one, which is this missile that fires at the back. Just like that, just a simple missile that is basically just taking this chunk and turning it into a missile. And the second involves the switch down here. You flip it to this position. Then, when you roll the cycle, the kind of mouth opens and closes. And so now I can also show you the inside, which if you look in closely, it has a molded and painted tongue in there. And the nice thing is it just goes up and down, and it's actually all dependent on the front wheel. The back wheel doesn't make a difference to that, but it's the front wheel that causes the jaw to flip up. Just like so. Which is actually a pretty cool and actually a little bit entertaining gimmick. Because it adds a little bit more to you know, just rolling around the cycle, because you have something happening while the cycle is rolling around. This came in 6 versions. The 5 Down Rangers and the Triassic Ranger. So, you know, if you look around, you can probably find any one of those online somewhere. And, you know, they're all basically the same aside from, you know, just the paint differences and the figures that come with it. So, you know, just look around. If you want to get one of these, you know, just look for what color you want it the most in and then go for it. So moving on, we have the White Thunder ATV with the White Giant Thunder Ranger. This vehicle did appear in the show for the White Ranger, and there was also one for the Black Ranger, but I just decided to pick up only one of these, and the first one I decided to pick up was this. So, once again, we have the White Ranger in the riding style, the vehicle style. It has the same kind of additional details, though it has, you know, paint in the style that the White Ranger had. And additionally, to keep in kind of continuity, there is no Down Thunder symbol on the chest, because in the show it's not there either. Though they did change his belt buckle to the standard Down Thunder belt buckle instead of keeping his own unique one. And of course, it has all the same articulation, because it's basically the same mold with the exception of the head. And because it has a white chest, it gives me a better chance to show you just how the muscles are structured on here. And I'm just going to show how unrealistic they are. Moving on, we have the ATV itself. And Down Thunder was actually the first Power Rangers series to use ATVs in addition to cycles, and in the toy line, that trend continued on through Mystic Force, though in the show, that only extended to this and SPD. So we basically got this. Has some black diamond patterns, kind of a dark blue purplish seat, has handlebars, and has this headpiece, which is kind of like the Dragozord. At least as far as, the eyes and the head crest go. Also interesting enough, it has kind of gold eyes here on the front. Also has these hubcaps, which are white with some silver detailing on the outside. Has this kind of undercarriage with what's kind of the motor in here, or engine, and some other parts. Also has this part in the back, which I'll get to later. Of course, once again, the figure can be put on just by positioning it right. There it is. It's actually a little bit easier to slide the hands over the handlebars, because that is a possibility. Got that there, and got that there. So now you have him riding. Of course, can once again be wheeled around on its four wheels. Also has kind of less of a kickstand and more of a trick stand. Because as you can see, it's basically like imitating it riding on its front back two wheels. Additionally, this front part is a firing missile, which is activated by this white button. And it actually fires with a good amount of force and can actually go pretty far, so I'm firing it just against my hand so that it won't go too far away from me and I'll have to retrieve it. But as you can see, it does fire strong and fast. And the third thing is this, which is, well, it says it's a hook and chain, and you might be wondering what that's for. Well, I'll just give you an example. Well, actually, I guess I'll use one of these other two figures to give you an example. I'll use this figure. It's a little interesting, because what you basically do is you take this, hook it around the ankle of another figure, then basically drag the figure around. Though this is mainly to be used against, with the evil space alien figures, or, the bad guy figures. Which is rather interesting and unique. This was made for the White Ranger, the Black and White Rangers, which were the only two they used in the show. There was also one made for the Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, and Triassic Ranger. There was not one made for the Yellow Ranger. Once again, if you like this, get, or if you want to get one of the alternate ones, you can get one of those too. And there is actually differences between the different versions, because each different version has a different front missile in its shape, as well as, of course, the coloring. So the ATVs for Dino Thunder are a little bit more distinct than the Raptor cycles. So here we have the Mystic Tracker and Mystic Force Red Ranger. Right here. This here is a supplementary toy that basically is just continuing the ATV trend that was started with Dino Thunder. Once again, we start with the figure, which I accidentally knocked down. My bad. So, we've got the Mystic Force Red Ranger with basically some battle armor. that's in this kind of gunmetal gray color. Has a chest plate with the Mystic Force M, with a gold collar, though a little flawed in that, once again, it has some paint that just doesn't extend to the back. It has also shoulder pads, gauntlets, and boots. Has a nice paint detailing, at least as far as everything besides the back. Articulation-wise, no head rotation. Arms rotate 360 degrees, go in and out. No elbow joint, but it has a forearm swivel. Legs go forward, a little bit back, in and out. Though the in and out movement is a little bit tight on this one. As well as having a single joint knee. Then we have this, which is the Mystic Tracker. It's pretty simple. It's unique in its own way. It's got some whites and some golds, as well as a little bit of metallic blue, and of course red, because it is belonging to the Red Ranger. Has this front part, which is a kind of weapon part. Has hubcaps, which actually contain what's basically the Mystic Force kind of spell seal, as well as smaller silver versions on the back wheels, and a red M, a translucent red M on this front part near the handlebars, and that's a light up gimmick, whereby switching the switch on and pressing this button, this light will turn on, just like so. Because it's an ATV, doesn't need a kickstand, and also it has this part, which is a firing missile. Though this one's a rather weak one, in that it doesn't fire so much as it drops. Just to show you from a ground perspective, or at least near ground. Yeah, it's basically because the part that just goes in there is really pretty short, so they don't really have much room to work in a good spring. It only goes so far. Additionally, parts from it can be detached and used as weaponry, specifically this front part, and either one of the front two hubcaps. So this is a weird kind of a sword weapon because it's really very big. In fact, it's taller than the figure itself. And the other part can be used as a shield, which uses this handle right here. Goes right in. Though both of them are kind of loose. Maybe it has something to do with the handlebar stretching out the figure's grip, but I'm not completely sure. Though I'd think that on one that's basically brand new, it would probably have a tighter grip on these. And just to show that either one of these works, just take this one right off here. This has two different ways to put it back in via these two holes and just the one peg. Just like so. And once again, the figure can ride on top. And the whole riding thing is basically explains why it has the arms in a permanent bend, and that's to make it a little bit easier to just attach them on and have them grab onto the handlebars. Also, with a little bit of carefully maneuvering, you can have it so that with a little bit of maneuvering, although it might be a little bit difficult. I think there is a way to have the figures permanently stay on the button, but while it's on, you can only push down and have it press the button. Just like that. Interesting. It's a supplementary toy. If you want to get it, but you know, it's something that you can pass up if you're not too big on these kind of toys. And finally is the red Hovertech Cycle, which on some packaging is called the Helio Cycle, but its official name within the show is the Hovertech Cycle. Starting off with the figure, we've got a basic Red Ranger figure with nothing completely special on it except for the Defender vest, which is actually not used for the vehicles, but for the Drill Blaster. So we've got some nice paint detail. The Defender vest is actually pretty well painted, with all the necessary details, at least as far as the front goes. Once again, they skimp out on paint on the back, though the paint on the shoulder pads is whole. Have the white on the inside of the arms, down the torso, and on the inside of the legs. Have the silver in necessary places. The glove cuffs, the belt, at least the front part, and the boot tops, as well as all necessary paint on the head. Articulation wise, 360 rotation at the head, arms go forward and back, limited because of the shoulder pads, going in and out. Once again, have a permanent bend at the elbow, but a forearm swivel, or forearm rotation. Let's go forward a little bit back, in and out. Single jointed knee, and that's it. And once again, it also has a little bit of hints of unrealistic abs. So here we have the Hovertech Cycle. This design did appear in the show, but it was used by the Black Ranger, and I got this prior to the start of the series, so I didn't know it would be used by only the Black Ranger, so I just stuck with this and didn't get another one. So we've got this design here. We've got the wheels. Has a design that's kind of like it's kind of like an exaggerated version of the Operation Overdrive helmet design, with the black visor, a little blue part to represent a car windshield, and a little silver grill on the top. Has the wheels, and the kind of undercarriage chassis. Has the wheels with some silver inside and silver on the inside. Has a little bit of not metallic blue, but light blue here. Has two drill-shaped missiles which fire via two buttons, and can be inserted right back in, like so, and like so. Also have a little bit of a display that's just painted over right here, as well as, of course, the handlebars. And this back section, which has these, this gray bar section, which goes into its gimmick. Before getting to the gimmick, of course, I'll put the figure on the cycle. Once again, it has permanently bent arms to accommodate for riding the cycle and make it easier to put the figure on. Has the footrests here and here, which are useful. Have the figure's hands placed right over. Have the figure like that, so due to the positioning it is kind of leaning back, but that's just the way it works. And so the gimmick is as such. You detach these two bars from the sides. Using this joint, you ratchet the section all the way up like this, straighten out the two bars, then take the back wheel, split it in two, and fold them out to the side. And you've got kind of a helicopter cycle here, which is what gives it the name HoverTech. The back wheel basically turns into a couple of turbines for forward movement, and the bar section, the kind of silvery gray bar section, turns into a propeller. Though it not only is the propeller a little bit wobbly at the connection point, but it's also a little bit tricky because of these joints which don't actually lock into place or even friction into place. Well, it certainly is an interesting gimmick. And of course you can just put it back together. The transmission jack is also pretty simple. You gotta line up these pegs with these holes and make sure the wheels snap back into place. Put this back down like so, and put these into the holes, making sure that this is on this lower part rather than the upper part, otherwise it won't fit. And so with that out of the way, I have now completed my 4-part Power Rangers Figure Reviews mini-series. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all actually had... I hope I did a good job, and I hope you guys liked these reviews. I especially hope that the person who requested this, Siad115, likes this. Because, you know, I always try to do the best to fill out the requests I get, especially review requests. So, thanks for watching, and, you know, now I'm going to be going back to other things. Sorry about that. I'm going to be going back to different reviews now. For now, I don't have any specific review requests, so I'll be going back to reviewing what I choose to review. And of course, now that I've gotten this out of the way, I'll have the time to continue on with Project Baybel. So once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.